What is the agenda for today's classes? I'm going to take the session for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, what you will understand is, you'll understand introduction to Power BI. Introduction to what? Power BI. As part of this introduction to Power BI, you will learn three things. What are the three things you will learn is, first, you will learn what is data analysis. In order to understand Power BI, first you people need to know data analysis, guys. When you know about data analysis, then only you will understand what? Power BI. Second thing you will understand is what is Power BI. Once you understand data analysis, then you'll understand Power BI. What is the third thing you will understand is, how to perform data analysis using Power BI. Using what? Power BI. These are the three things you will understand. Okay. So in order to learn Power BI, this class is important. This class is one of the important class in order to understand Power BI thoroughly. Yes, tell me what is data analysis? Here, many people already know about what is data analysis. Tell me what you know about data analysis. Anyway, I'll add some points here. You just tell me what you know about data analysis. What data analysis means. Okay, let's tell me one definition about data analysis. What is the definition? If someone asks you, tell me the definition for data analysis. Right? Okay, let me write one definition here. There will be many definitions available. I'll write one of the definition. Data analysis is a process. I'll explain. First, let me write it. Data analysis is one process which converts company's business data into actionable information, which converts business data into actionable information. What is the meaning of this? We will try to understand this line thoroughly. I said that data analysis is a process. When I said it's a process means what? Collection of steps. Data analysis contains multiple steps in it. Let me show you. I'll just open one image and I'll just show you what are the different steps. Data analysis contains totally how many steps? This image is showing step 1 to step 5. Totally how many steps are there? To be more specific, data analysis is a 5-step process. Instead of telling just a process, it's a 5-step process. Data analysis is a 5-step process. What that 5-step process will do? Which will convert company's business data into what? Actionable information. What are that 5 steps you see here? The first step is what? OLTPs. What is OLTP? You will understand. Second step is what? ETL. Third step is OLAP database. Fourth step is creating reports. Fifth step is sharing them with the clients. What is the name for these 5 steps? These 5 steps together, we are calling it as what? Data analysis. Let me graphically show you. This is in the plane. You guys are seeing how the 5 steps are. Let me graphically show you how the 5 steps will look like. When I go here, I have a image. I'm just going to open the image. This image, I can call it as data analysis architecture or business intelligence architecture. Data analysis also known as what? Business intelligence. Wherever you see business intelligence or data analysis, both are one and the same. I said that this will contain how many steps? I said totally 5 steps. What are the 5 steps? First step, OLTP. Second step, ETL. Third step, OLAP. Fourth step, creating reports or visuals. Fifth step, sharing them with the clients. These are the 5 steps you have. I'll make you understand each step. What OLTP means, what is ETL, what is OLAP, what is this reports, why we need to share them with the clients. We will learn them. First, we understand data analysis contains 5 steps, which will convert company's business data into what? Actionable information. What are the 5 steps you have? First step, OLTP. Second step, ETL. Third step, OLAP. Fourth step, create reports. Fifth step, share reports to the clients. Share reports to whom? Clients. These are the 5 steps available in where? Data analysis. Okay. Now, let's see. Before we go and try to understand these 5 steps, okay, data analysis there. Who will use the data analysis? Who will use data analysis? Data analysis is there. It contains 5 steps. Who will use this data analysis? Each and every company each and every company will perform data analysis, will use this data analysis or will perform data analysis. No matter whether the company is small or big, every company need to use what? Data analysis. Why data analysis have a lot of jobs in the market is every company which is running, they need to perform what? These 5 steps. They need to perform this data analysis. Let me explain this line, guys. Or I'll just explain this line. When there is any company, so take any company. So tell me a few company names: Flipkart, Amazon, Amazon, just Flipkart, Amazon. If I ask to write the company names, I can write thousands and lakhs of companies. Thousands and lakhs of companies are there. I'll just write some random companies. In this list, I'll even include this training institute also, analytics benchmark. So like this, there are many companies. When there is any company, what the company will do? When there is a company, the company will do some business. Tell me, Flipkart is doing what type of business? E-commerce, we call it as. Amazon is doing what type of business? One of the business they are doing is e-commerce. They have other business also. That's fine. ICICI is doing what type of business? Banking or finance, financial business. Analytics benchmark. This training institute. We are into the education. Like this, you take any company. The company will do certain business, right? When a company is doing the business, business will get what? Business data. When a company is doing the business, they'll produce lot of business data. Example for business data is you take Flipkart. When they do e-commerce business, they will get lot of data. What is the type of data they'll get is orders related data. What is the data they'll get? Orders. They will get returns related data. They'll get customers related data. They'll get products related data. They'll get sales related data. If I keep on writing, I can write lot of other data. When a company is there, when it is doing the business, it produces lot of business data. When it produces lot of business data, Amazon also, when do e-commerce business, they also get the similar kind of data. You tell me now, ICICI is doing banking business. When they do banking business, they also get business data. What type of business data they'll get? Customers data, day-to-day transactions data. What they'll get? Transactions. When you go and deposit the money, it's a transaction. When you withdraw the money, it's a transaction. That data it will come. Savings account data, credit card data, loans data, insurance data, and so on, right? ICICI will produce lot of business data. You tell me now, analytics benchmark is there. We are into the education sector, edutech company. We also get the business data or not? What is the business data we used to get? The most important business data for us is students data, faculty data, courses related data, fee related data. Tomorrow when you register with the course, you will pay the fee, right? All that comes under business data for us. So when a company is getting the business data, we will store it. What you need to do? Every company will do what? Store data. You see, I'll just open one image, guys. Wherever we store the data, we generally call it as OLTP. We generally call it as what? OLTP, also call it as data source. Wherever we store the data, we call it as either a OLTP or a data source. Let me open one image here. I'll just open one image and make you simple. You look at here. When you open the Flipkart website from your laptop, you place an order in the Flipkart. What you do? Order. When you place an order, it will produce some data or not? The data will be gone stored in where? On OLTP database. In the mobile app, you open Flipkart. In the mobile app, you place an order from the mobile. It also produces the data and store it. Like this, you'll get the data, guys. What you will get? So we'll have a lot of front-end applications, which was developed using some front-end softwares. When you open that front-end application, when you do some transaction there, that data will come and sit in where? OLTP database. Whatever the business data we're getting into this OLTP database, we'll use it in Power BI for analysis or visualization. That you will understand. Okay, now the point is, whatever the data you are getting, business data, companies will store the data. Wherever we store the data, we can call it as OLTP or data source. We'll talk more about it. What is the next step is, whatever the data stored in OLTP, you need to analyze the data. What do you need to do? Analyze the data. Next step, we need to analyze the data. Companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions, guys. Companies need to analyze the data to take better business decisions, to take better decisions. Take an example. I'll just try to explain this line. Uh, Currently, ICICI is operating in 1,000 branches, guys. How many branches they have? 1,000 branches. When they're operating in 1,000 branches, they're planning to close 10 branches. What they want to do? Close 10 branches. In order to close the 10 branches, will they randomly go and pick the 10 branches and close it, or what they'll do? So they will not randomly go and pick the 10 branches and close it. They'll take the 1,000 branches data and they'll do what? Analyze. When they analyze the data, they'll understand where they are doing good, where they are doing bad. So why companies will analyze the data is to understand where we are performing good and where they are performing bad. They'll go to the branches which are performing bad and they'll pick the 10 branches and they'll close it. So without analyzing the data, I cannot take a decision which 10 branches to close. Like this, any business decision company need to take, they can take only after what? Analyzing the data. That's what I written here. Companies need to do what? Analyze the data to take what? Better decisions. Like this, in order to companies to analyze the data, they require something called reports. Companies to analyze the data required what, guys? Required what? Reports. Any company which is planning to analyze the data, they require something called reports. I'll open a couple of reports and show you how the reports will look like. Here, I said that when you look at this image, this kind of reports, here you are seeing whatever the data is there, using Power BI, we will generate what? Report. This kind of reports are required for what? Analyzing the data. Now I'll just show you how the reports will look like. I'll just open some reports which we developed already in Power BI just to get some idea. I'm just opening. I'm just opening some sample reports to make you understand how the reports will look like. I just open. I'm opening some reports. Don't worry. This kind of reports we will generate in Power BI. This kind of reports are required for what purpose? Analyze the data. Analyze the data. Take the decisions. This is one of the report. Just you just look at it and try to see how the reports will look like. This we can call it as one report. This another report. We can call this as reports. This kind of reports are required for the companies to analyze the data. Okay. Now you look at this report. What is the title of the report I provided here? E-commerce sales report. When I go to this report, try to understand the terminology. Each one we call it as a visual. Line chart is one visual. Column chart is one visual. Donut chart is one visual. Scatter chart is one visual. Map is one visual. Card visuals, slicers. All these visuals, I call it as one report. I call it as one report. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. To analyze the data. Analyzing the data means understanding where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. So let me give an example. You go to this visual and look at this visual. In the visual, what is the information you have is, my company is selling a lot of different subcategories, and subcategory wise you are plotting what? Profits. This visual you are showing subcategory wise profits. When I go to this visual will make, tell me which subcategory is generating highest profit by looking at this visual. Copiers. Copiers is generating highest profits here. Which one is generating lowest profits? Tables. Tables, how much? Minus 18K. Profit number in minus is what? Loss. I see suppliers bookcases also have negative numbers. Suppliers bookcases and tables are generating what? Losses. When I share this visual with my company people, using this visual, my company people can understand where we are doing good and bad, right? So based on that, they can take decisions. Based on that, they can take what? Decisions. As a owner of this company, if I ask to take some decisions, one decision I can take is I'll go and stop selling what? Suppliers, bookcases, tables. Why you will stop selling them? You are getting losses. One more decision as a company owner I can take is I'm planning to concentrate more into the copiers business and what? phones business. Why I'm planning to concentrate more in this area? They're giving high profits. They're giving high profits. Okay. So like this, companies will take the decisions, guys. Companies will take what? Decisions. So this kind of visuals will help us to understand where we are doing good and bad. Based on that, I can take what? Decisions. Based on that, I can take the decisions. So that's what. So we see few examples how the reports will look like. This is one of the report. This is another report. This kind of reports we will create to analyze the data. Which software will help us to create this kind of reports? In our case, Power BI. In our case, Power BI. Okay, here any company which need to create the reports, they need to perform a complete process called data analysis process. So people will think that we'll directly go and create the reports. But before we start creating the reports, we need to do a lot of work. We need to do what? ETL. Then we need to create what? OLAP. Then we need to create what? Reports. Companies will store the data in where? OLTPs. Data sources are OLTPs, I said. So people will think that directly we'll go and create reports. No, we will try to explain. Before we create the reports, we need to do a lot of work. Any company which need to create the reports need to perform data analysis, guys. Companies will create reports by performing what? Data analysis process. By performing the complete process name is data analysis. Let me consolidate these 3 points. You name any company. You take any company. Every company will perform what? Perform data analysis. Why companies will perform data analysis? In order to create what? Reports. Why we need to create reports means? To analyze the data. Why we need to analyze the data means? To take decisions, to take better decisions, to take what? Better decisions. Any company which need to take better decisions, what they need to do? Analyze. After analyzing the data only, they'll take the decisions. To analyze the data, what they required? They need to have reports. To create the reports, what they need to perform? Data analysis. Every company will go and perform what? Data analysis. Using that, they'll create what? Reports. Using the reports, they will what? Analyze the data. Using analysis, they'll take what? Better decisions. That is the reason I said that each and every company will perform what? Data analysis. No matter whether the company is small or big, every company will perform data analysis, guys. Every company will perform what? Data analysis. What is the next step is? Okay, every company will perform data analysis. Now we understand who will use this data analysis. Now let's go and try to understand what is OLTP, all this. Before I explain this, let me tell you, when you are talking about data analysis, we will came across data analyst. Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst? The person who performs data analysis is a data analyst. The person who perform analysis is a what? Data analyst. What is the meaning is? The person who do this ETL, who create this OLAP database, who create the reports, who share the reports to the client, that person name is what? Data analyst. The person who do all these steps is a data analyst, guys. Data analyst. Now, okay, let's try to understand different steps available in the data analysis. What is the first step? OLTP. The place where, what is the full form for OLTP? Online transactional processing. What is this OLTP? Why they are calling it like this? We'll understand. The place where companies stores business data, we call as what? OLTP or data source. OLTP or both are same. Wherever I said OLTP or data source, you see here in this image, companies will have a lot of front-end applications. In the front-end applications, using them, they will enter the data. They will enter the data like this. They'll enter the data like this. When they enter the data like this, the data will be go and stored in where? OLTPs. If I go here, let me open this image. So if I store the business data in the SQL server, I can call the SQL server as an OLTP. If I store the business data in Oracle database, I can call the Oracle as what? OLTP. Wherever I stored my data, company's data, we call it as OLTP, guys. So how you got this is business data, also known as transactional data. What is the name of business data? Transactional data. Business data, also known as transactional data. Wherever we store the transactional data, we store what? So wherever we store the transactional data, business data or transactional data, I call it as online transactional processing. In short, we call it as what? OLTP. Because it is storing transactional data, I call it as online transactional processing. In short, I call it as OLTP. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs to store transactional data. To store what? Transactional data or business data. You take every company will have either one or multiple OLTPs to store the transaction data. Why multiple? What we are trying to tell is a company will have a single OLTP or a multiple OLTPs. I'm telling. A company will have either a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs in order to store what? Business data. Why a company will have multiple OLTPs? What, in what scenario? In what scenario a company will have multiple OLTPs? In what scenario is you take ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank will have a lot of different subjects data, right? They'll have savings account data. They'll have current account data. They'll have loans data. They will have credit card data. They might not go and store all the data in single place, right? Might be they are storing savings account data and current account data in SQL Server. Might be they are storing loans and credit card data in where? Oracle. How many OLTPs they stored in this case? Multiple. A company might store their business data either in one or multiple OLTPs. Keep in mind, a company will have a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs where they'll store what? Business data. Tomorrow, so company will provide OLTPs to the data analyst. Companies will provide what? OLTPs to whom? Data analyst, and asked to create what? Reports. For what purpose? Analyze the data and take what? Decisions. When a company provided, right, that point, companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to whom? Data analyst, and ask to what? Generate reports. Ask to create reports or generate reports to analyze the data and take the decisions. Okay. So important point is, when a company provided OLTP to the data analyst, it is not recommended to go and create reports directly on what? OLTPs, guys. So make a note here. Data analyst never recommended to create reports directly on what? OLTPs. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. Directly on what? OLTPs. What is the reason? There are many reasons why data analyst is not supposed to create the reports directly on OLTPs. There are many reasons. Tell me one reason. Raw data. Raw data or unstructured data. Generally, major reason why we don't use OLTPs to create the reports is, generally OLTP will get the data from different people, different places. They might not get the data in the same format. They might get the data in different formats. We call that as unstructured data or raw data. Generally, OLTPs contains, I'll discuss about it, unstructured data. Raw data, also call it as what? Unstructured data. As OLTPs contains unstructured data, which is not useful for what? Creating the reports. Now, what the data analyst need to do is, now data analyst need to create a new database. Need to create a what? New database called OLAP. New database called OLAP for creating the reports. This OLAP, who will create it? Data analyst. And why data analyst is creating this new database? Already OLTP database is there, which have what? Unstructured data, which is not useful for what? Creating the reports. To create the reports, I need one database. And that database need to have structured data or clean data. That clean data or structured data, this data analyst will store in a database called what? OLAP, guess. Now let's try to understand this OLAP database. OLAP full form is online transactional online analytical processing. OLAP full form is what? Online analytical processing. I'll try to explain how you got this name, online analytical processing. So, okay, this is a new database, right? We need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, we required some software called what? ETL. To move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, to move data from OLTP to OLAP database, we required what softwares? ETL software, guys. We required what? ETL. What is the full form for ETL? Extract, transform, load. Extract, transform, and load. This extract, transform, load will move the data. Now, I'm telling that, please concentrate. Within 2 minutes, you'll get the clarity. Now, we are telling that we need to move the data from OLTP to OLAP. While moving the data from OLTP to OLAP, what data we need to move? Does it require to move all the business data means? Not required, guys. It is not required to move all the business data. All the business data. Then what data we need to move to OLAP is, while moving the data to OLAP, we need to move only data which I need to use it in what? Creating the reports. That we call it as data required for analysis. Data required for what? Analysis. Whatever the data I used in reports, that data I call it as data required for. While moving the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need to move only data required for analysis. We call it as analytical data. What data? Analytical data. Analytical data. While moving the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need to move only data, analytical data, data which is required for analysis purpose. So here in OLAP, we are storing what? Only analytical data. What data you are storing? Analytical data. So as you are storing only analytical data, they are calling it as what? Online analytical processing. So in short, they call it as what? OLAP. Because you store transaction data here, they call it as online transaction processing. As you are storing what? Analytical data, online analytical processing. Now, when it comes to OLAP, OLAP will have the data in the structured format, not the data in what? Unstructured format. I said that OLTP will contains what? Unstructured data. OLAP contains what? Structured. Now, OLAP is getting the data from where? OLTP only, right? You are telling OLTP contains what? Unstructured. But you are telling OLAP contains what? Structured. How this unstructured got converted into structured? By performing ETL. E stands for what? Extracting. What data you required, you will extract it. T stands for what? Transforming. Transforming is converting unstructured data to what? Structured. The transformer data load into where? OLAP. So here, keep in mind, in OLTP, I have 100 tables. Data is there in 100 tables. Imagine. Out of 100 tables, in the reports, client is asking to show only 10 tables data. In the reports, how many tables data they're asking? From 100 tables, if you want to load data only into 10 tables, you have how many tables? 100 tables. Out of 100 tables, how many tables data you need to load? 10 tables. So 10 tables data you need to show in reports. Now tell me, from OLTP to OLAP, does it require to bring 100 tables or 10 tables? Only 10 tables. Always OLAP need to have only data what you need to show in the reports. Not required to bring all the data. Okay. So now we got an idea what is OLTP, what is ETL, what is OLAP. That OLAP database, we will use it for what? Creating reports. Now, within 1-2 minutes, try to understand what is unstructured data and why it is not useful for creating the reports. I'll tell you what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for what? Creating reports. Then I'll try to explain what is ETL. In ETL, what I said? We'll clean the data. What I said? We'll clean or transform the data. Clean or what is this cleaning the data or transforming the data? We'll understand. And then we'll understand about what? OLAP. What is this OLAP? We use OLAP to what? create reports. So now what is structured data? That and all we will understand. I'll just open one small image here to make you understand. Go to here. Look at this. This is how the data will be in the OLTP. OLTP database will have tables, right? The tables will have data something like this. This is OLAP, how the data will be in the tables. I said that OLTP contains what data? Unstructured data. Generally, when there are into Flipkart website, thousands of customers will come and place the order. When I ask customers to write their country name, do you think that every customer will write the country name in the same format? No, one customer will write the country name like what? United States. Second customer will write like what? US, U.S. USA. All these first 5 entries are related to what? United States only. First entry, 5 entries are what? United States. First 5 entries are United States. But they have data in what? Unstructured. Unstructured data is there. They are not in the same format. One person enter like United Kingdom, second person enter like what? UK. So this is when data is in different formats, I can call it as unstructured. How you will move the data from OLTP to OLAP? Using a software called what? ETL. Now you take this US and you will convert US to what? United States. You convert U.S. to what? United States. US dot to what? United States. USA to what? United States. You converted UK to what? United Kingdom. Converting UK to United Kingdom, we call it as transform. We call it as what? Transform. Now when I go to OLAP, every country name is in the same format or not? We call this as structured or unstructured? Structured. Now, okay, what is unstructured data? What ETL will do? What is structured? You understand, right? Go to the next slide now. When I go to the next slide, I'm trying to use the table which is there in the OLTP. This table is what? OLTP. I'm trying to create the report. What you are showing here? Country-wise? Sum of sales. You are trying to show each country. I try directly create the reports this time on OLTP. After creating the report, I share this report with my company people. When I share this report with my company people said this report is wrong. Why this report is wrong? So this report is telling that we are doing the business in 7 different countries and it is showing 7 different sales. How many countries it is showing? 7 countries, 7 different sales values it is doing. In reality, my company is not doing the business in 7 countries. They're doing only what? They're expecting only 2 countries. They're expecting only 2 sales values here. So it is never recommended to go and create report directly on what? OLTP. When you create it, you will get meaningless results here. Using that, I cannot do analysis. The problem is not with the report. The problem is with the data. Problem is with what? Data. So you need to clean the data before you create such kind of reports. Now go here. I clean the data and store the data in the OLAP database. This is what? OLAP database. I use this OLAP database and try to show country-wise sales here. So similar names, reporting tools can group similar names into one value. And it will do sum of sales and show it. When you sum these 5 numbers, what is the number you will get? 1500. It will group this United Kingdom into one and it will do what? Sum of sales, right? It group and it will do sum of sales, guys. That is about 100 plus 200, 300. When I share this visual with my company people said this visual is correct. So we are doing business in 2 countries. United States is doing more sales. United Kingdom is doing what? Less sales. Like this, when you try to create reports directly in OLTP, you'll get wrong results. Yes or no? First, you need to take the data to where? ETL and clean the data or transform the data. That clean data or transformed data, wherever we store, we call it as what? OLAP. That data, we will use it for what? Why we call it as OLAP? Here you are bringing the data required for analytical purpose and you are storing it. That is the reason we call it as OLAP. That data, I'll use it for what? Creating the reports. This kind of reports, I'll create it. We see a lot of reports here. All this kind of reports will be created on, OLTP or OLAP. OLAP. Always we create this report on OLAP. The information which you shown in the report, we call it as actionable information, guys. The information what you shown in what? In the report, we call it as actionable information. The meaning is, whatever the information you guys are showing in this visuals or report, that information I call it as what? Actionable information. Tell me guys, why I call this information as what? Actionable information. Based on this information, you will take the actions. Actions, nothing but what? decisions. That is the reason I call it as what? Actionable information. Now go and read the definition of data analysis, what we provided. Now you'll get the justification to this definition. What is the definition I provided for data analysis? Data analysis is a five-step process which converts what? Business data into actionable information. Business data will be available in where? OLTPs. Actionable information will be available in where? Reports. You are converting business data to actionable information. To do that, how many steps you are doing? First major step data analyst will do is what? ETL. Second major step data analyst need to do is what? Creating OLAP. Third major step data analyst need to do is what? Creating reports. Sharing the reports to the client is a easy task. It's a what? Easy task. OLTPs, you no need to do anything. Already they're in the companies. Data analyst, first major work is what? ETL. Second major work is what? Creating OLAP. Third major work is what? Creating report. These are the three major tasks in the data analysis, guys. In where? Data analysis. Now, I hope you got an idea what is data analysis. Once you understand what is data analysis, then you are good to understand what is. Without knowing data analysis, you are not supposed to start learning Power BI, guys. First, you need to thoroughly know about data analysis, then you can start Power BI. Tell me, who developed Power BI? Microsoft. Who developed Power BI? Microsoft is the company who developed Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI for what purpose? To perform data analysis and create reports, using that to analyze the data, to take the decisions. Okay, now every company need to perform these 5 steps, right? To perform these 5 steps, they required a software. They required a what? Software. That software is Power BI. That software is what? Power BI. Believe me, we not only do these 5 steps in Power BI. To do these 5 steps, we have dozens of softwares in the market. Along with Power BI, what other softwares are there? You can use Excel also. You can use what? Tableau also. You can use Python also. These 5 steps can be performed in where? Excel. These 5 steps can be performed in where? Tableau. These 5 steps can be performed in where? Python. So, but nowadays, most extensively used software to perform these 5 steps is what? Power BI. Believe me, I'm not just telling it as I'm teaching it. Power BI is the most extensively used software to perform what? Data analysis, guys. Okay. First point you need to know about Power BI is Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for what? Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. There are multiple softwares in Power BI. What are the multiple softwares available in Power BI? First software available in Power BI is Power BI Desktop. What is the first software? Power BI Desktop is the first software. And the second software available in Power BI Desktop is Power BI Service. Power BI Service. Third software available in Power BI is Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server. And fourth one is Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. These are the 4 softwares available in Power BI. These 4 softwares, I call it as collection of softwares. For them, Microsoft given the name called what? Power BI. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform what? Data analysis. Which are used to perform what? Data analysis. Out of the 4 softwares, the major software here is Power BI Desktop, guys. What is the major software? Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a what? Development software in Power BI. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a development software. Power BI developer will work 80 to 90% of time, or else I can write almost 90% of time. Power BI developer will work in where? Power BI Desktop. So you people are here to learn Power BI, right? You people join this course to learn what? Power BI. Once you learn Power BI, I will teach Power BI for how many months? 2 months. After learning Power BI for 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. You will become a what? Power BI data analyst. After you become a Power BI data analyst, you will go and join one company. What happens? After you become a Power BI data analyst, you'll go and join in a company. What do you need to do in that company? In that company, you need to do what? Data analysis. Using what software? Using Power BI. Using what? Power BI. Simple, guys. when I join my course and you will learn Power BI for 2 months, after that you'll become a Power BI data analyst. You'll go and join in the company. In that company, you'll do data analysis. Data analysis means 5 steps. Using a software called what? Power BI. So okay, now so I said that Power BI Desktop is the major software here, right? Now I will open Power BI architecture to make you understand better. Look at here. This is the Power BI architecture, guys. I'm talking about Power BI Desktop now. In the Power BI Desktop, again, internally contains 3 more softwares. What are the 3 more softwares? Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. Power BI Desktop have 3 more softwares: Power Query, Power Pivot, and what? Power View. Write that point. Power BI Desktop contains 3 more softwares. What are the 3 more softwares it contains? Is first software is what? Power Query. Power Query. Second software is what? Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Third software is what? Power View. These 3 softwares are internally available in Power BI Desktop. So we use all these softwares to perform data analysis. I said Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform this data analysis, which are used to perform these 5 steps, right? Now, to the Power BI data analyst, who will provide this OLTPs? Who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Company or client, correct guess. Company or client will provide this OLTPs. Once company provided OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst, Power BI data analyst, first step he need to do is, in the OLTP, he will have what? Unstructured data. He need to clean the data. To clean the data, he need to use a software called what? ETL. Where we do ETL here in Power BI, there are many softwares, right? Out of many softwares, which software we generally use to do ETL is Power Query. Power Query is an ETL software in where? In Power BI. If you look at this architecture slide, I write Power Query is what software here? ETL. Power Query will connect to wherever companies are storing their business data. I can call it as what? OLTPs or data sources. OLTPs are data sources. Wherever company is storing the data, we call it as OLTPs or data sources. We'll connect to OLTP. We will extract the tables. What you will do? Extract the tables. Whatever data is there, we'll extract it. After extracting the tables in Power Query, you'll do what? Transform or cleaning. Transform or cleaning. That clean data will be loaded into where? Power Pivot. In Power BI, that data will be loaded into Power Pivot. That is what we call it as ETL. Don't think much about it. You'll learn more. Okay, we understand OLTP is provided by my company. ETL was performed in where? Power Query. After ETL, what is the next step Power BI data analyst need to do? Create OLAP. Where we will create OLAP is in where? Power Pivot. Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a what? Database which is used to create what? Which is used to create OLAP. Which is used to create OLAP. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create what? OLAP. Okay. So I said that how SQL Server is one database, how Oracle is one database. Similar way, Power Pivot is also what? Database. You extracted the tables from data source. You transform the tables. You load the tables into Power Pivot. Whatever the tables I loaded into Power Pivot can store the tables because it's a what? Database. That's what I written here. Power Pivot is one database which is used to create what? OLAP. Okay, you'll understand more about it. Now, you understand ETL will be performed in Power Query. OLAP database will be created in where? Power Pivot. What is the next step? Create the reports. Where you need to create reports, I said. Power View. Power View is a software which is used to create what? Reports, guys. Power View is a software. Power View is a software which is used to create what? Reports. Reports and visualizations. That reports will have visualizations. So you can see this architecture slide. Whatever the tables I have in the Power Pivot, the tables I can use in where? Power View, and I can create what? Visual reports. That visual reports contains what? Actionable information. Finally, you need to share with whom? Clients. The last step we have is we need to share the reports to whom? Clients. So to share the reports to the clients, try to understand Power BI Desktop cannot go and share the reports directly to whom? Clients. Power BI Desktop cannot share the reports directly to the clients. Whatever the report we developed in the Power BI Desktop, We need to publish that report to where? Power BI service, and then we need to share with what? And or else we can publish it to Power BI report server. From there also we can share it. What we are trying to tell is to share the reports, either I can use Power BI service or either I can use Power BI report server. There are two softwares to share the reports to the client. You might need to get one question here. To do ETL, I only have what? Power Query. To create OLAP database, I only have what? Power Pivot. To create reports, I only have what? Power View. But to share the reports to the clients, you have what? Two, Power BI service and Power BI report server. Why there are two softwares to do the same work? Why not only one? And duplicate, right? It's so no company will use both of them. Here one is a cloud. One is what? Cloud. Second one is what? On-premise. Second one is what? On-premise. A company will choose either a cloud or either a on-premise. No company will choose both of them. A company will choose either a cloud or either a on-premise. Most of the companies will publish the reports from Power BI desktop to what? Power BI service, and from there they'll share with the clients. 99% of the companies, they use what? Cloud. Only 1% of the companies, they're using what? On-premise. In the coming classes, I'll extensively discuss what is the difference between cloud and on-premise, why most of the companies are choosing cloud. We'll talk about it. Now let's write that point. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software. It is what? Azure cloud-based software, which is used for what purpose? Which is used to share reports to clients. Power BI report server is a what? On-premise software, which is used to share the reports to clients. How much percentage I said? Cloud is 90. How much percentage I said here? Only 1% of the companies they're using it. Okay. Next point is, once you develop the report in Power View, I said that that report will be published to where? Power BI service. That report will be shared with whom? Clients. Once I share the report with the clients, how the client can check that report? So client can check the report using their laptop. Using what? Laptop. They can even check the report using their desktop. They can even check the report in what? Mobile. Take an example. I send an email to you. I logged into my Gmail. I send a Gmail to you. Where are the places you can check that my Gmail? Either in the laptops, desktops, mobile phones. Nowadays, where we are checking mostly in mobile. So when you share the reports to the clients also interested to check the reports in where? Mobiles. In order to check the report in a mobile, you require a mobile app. What you required? Mobile app. Microsoft developed a mobile app with the name called what? Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. It's a mobile app which is used for what purpose? Which is used to view what? Reports in where? Mobiles or tabs or what? iPads. Mobiles or tabs or iPads. It's a mobile app which is used to view the reports in the mobiles or tabs or iPads case. We have mobile app for what? We have mobile app for iOS, Android, and Windows. Who will install this mobile app? Developers or clients? Clients. So these are the different softwares available in Power BI. These are the different softwares available in where? Power BI. We use all these softwares to perform what? 5 steps. To perform this 5 steps. Okay. That is about Power BI, guys. If someone asks you what is Power BI, you need to tell what? Power BI is the what? Name for collection of software which are used to perform what? Data analysis. Now, I hope you got an idea what is data analysis and what is Power BI. Now, let me consolidate this two into 2 lines. Within 2 lines, whatever I discussed so far, I will consolidate it. So now I'll tell you within 2 lines how to perform data analysis using Power BI. In data analysis, what is the first step? OLTPs. Who will provide? Companies. Already they'll have. What is the next step in the data analysis? ETL. Where we do ETL in Power BI? Using Power Query. What is the next step? Creating OLAP database. In data analysis, next step is creating OLAP database. Where? Power Pivot. What is the next step in data analysis? Create reports. Which software? Power View. What is the last step? Share reports to the clients. Share reports to clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, you will use what? Power BI service. Power BI service. Mostly Power BI service, they will use it. Now, once you share the reports to the clients, clients can consume the reports in where? Power BI mobile. Power BI mobile. So this small table will tell you how to perform data analysis using what? Power BI. Guys. Technically, we are done with the demo. Last 50 minutes, I discussed introduction to what? Power BI. Now I'll discuss some general points which are important to get the job on Power BI. Guys. I'm going to discuss some general points. The general points are important in order to get the job on what? Power BI. Let me copy paste. What are the general points? Concentrate, guys. People don't leave. These general points are important in order to get the job on Power BI. It will not take much time. I'll hardly take few minutes and I'll discuss some general points about Power BI. Okay, I'll just copy paste it from another notepad. What are these general points is, I'm telling new batch is going to start. Actually, this batch, try to understand, this is important update. New batch is going to start from tomorrow itself. I will take another 4 introduction classes. That introduction classes timings is another 4. Today I completed 1 introduction class, right? Another 4 introduction classes I'll take. That 4 introduction classes timing is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. 10 to what? 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time. But after the introduction classes, actual classes timing is 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time to 8:30 a.m. Daily 1 hour, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Understand? This is important. So tomorrow itself your batch will start. Another 4, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Complete this week. We will have introduction class only. Right? What timing? 10 to 11. After completing introduction classes, what classes will start? Actual classes from Monday. From where? Monday. At what time? 7:30 a.m. to actual classes will start from Monday. Sorry, guys. Monday. What is the date? Monday date? 13 April 2026. Your class timings will be what? 7:30. Introduction classes. So tomorrow till Saturday. Till where? Saturday. The timings will be what? Don't confuse. Only actual class, introduction classes timings will be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Actual classes timings will be 7:30 to 8:30. You can attend tomorrow's class and tomorrow's day after tomorrow's class for free. How you people attended today's demo for free, tomorrow and day after tomorrow also, you can attend what? Free classes. In the 2 free classes, I'll start what? Practicals. Today we discussed only theory, right? Tomorrow, I will start practicals. I'll go and install Power BI Desktop. Where our work will start? Who will provide the data? Company. Our work will start in where? Power BI Desktop. Tomorrow, I'll tell you how to install what? Power BI Desktop to start the practicals. After installing Power BI Desktop, I'll tell you how to open Power Query and how to do what? ETL. After ETL, I'll tell you how to go to Power Pivot and how to create what? OLAP. Then I'll tell you how to go to Power View and generate what? Reports. Then I'll tell you how to publish the reports to Power BI service, how to share the reports to whom? Clients. This complete process we will discuss practically in the next two free classes are practical. They will not cost you anything. You people can join tomorrow's class and day after tomorrow's class and you can decide. What you will learn is practically at a high level how Power BI software will work. You will learn in what? Next 2 free classes. That is about the new batch details, guys. Hope everyone is clear. If this was not clear, you please talk to the front desk team. They'll give the better clarity. Okay, now I am going to send what? A mail. Within few minutes, you people will get one mail. Mail will contains what? Recording session. That mail will also have what? Notepad. Last 1 hour, whatever notes I written here, I'll attach this notepad in the mail and also get the introduction Word class document. Every class, I will send one Word document like this. Every class, you'll get one Word document which contains the explanation about that class. Okay, you'll get this Word document. Along with this introduction Word document, you also get what? Course content. In the mail, I'll attach the course content. So you look at this. This is the course content I'm going to cover. This is the content I'm going to cover here. This course duration is how many hours? 60 hours. In the 60 hours of time, what topics I'm going to cover, I listed in this 11 pages. You can walk through this 11 pages and you can understand every point what I mentioned here in the course content. I will cover those points with real-time examples, guys. With what? Real-time examples. Course duration is 60 hours, more than 2 months. I'll take daily 1 hour classes. Batch timing is what? Actual classes 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. How many hours? 60 hours. Classes will be from where? Monday to Saturday. Sunday is holiday, so that it will take more than 2 months. What you will learn in more than 2 months? How to perform data analysis using what? Power BI. You will learn for what? 60 hours, more than 2 months. Once you've done my course, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experiments, guys. That level I will teach you. Now, let me tell you high level breakdown of 60 hours. So this is the data analysis using Power BI, right? Who will provide the OLTPs? Company. What is the first work Power BI developer need to do? ETL using a software called what? Power Query. First, we'll start learning what? Power Query for how many hours? 13 hours. Where you will learn what? How to do ETL. There you will learn one language called mashup language. M language or mashup language. Okay. So after doing ETL, what is the next step Power BI developer need to do? He need to create OLAP database in where? Power Pivot. He will start learning Power Pivot for how many hours? 17 hours. Where he will learn what? How to create OLAP database. There you will learn what? Data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and what? DAX language. DAX is one of the important language for Power BI developer. Okay, after that, what is the next step he need to do? Create reports using Power View. You will start learning Power View for how many hours? 17 hours. Where you will learn what? How to create reports. What is the last work? Share reports to the clients using a software called what? Power BI service. You will start learning Power BI service for how many hours? 13 hours. Where you will learn for 13 hours? Azure cloud concepts, admin concepts, and Power BI projects. And what? Power BI projects. This course not only include the topics in, I said that we will keep 3 to 5 years of experience, right? In order to keep 3 to 5 years of experience, you need to do what? Power BI projects. So you'll do the projects. What add-ons you'll get from this course is you'll get what? Real-time projects. So this kind of projects you will do. Let me open one project here. I'll just open one project. Where you can understand. I'll just open one project here. I'll just go and open one project and show you what kind of projects you'll do. This is this kind of projects we guys will do. What is the project title? Retail AB project. In this project, you will take the data from where? SQL Server database. And you will do a lot of ETL as per the requirement. You will create the OLAP database. Requirements is there. And you will generate the reports. This kind of requirement document you will get. You will go through the requirements and you will develop this kind of reports, guys. Okay. That is about the projects. And before I go and explain remaining points, I'll talk about this remaining points. Now let's come and understand who can learn what? Power BI. Who can learn? Power BI. Tell me, guys, who can learn Power BI is, I said that who can learn Power BI? Freshers. Who can learn Power BI is? Freshers, guys. Freshers means who completed their education in around 3 years, 2024 passed out, 2025 passed outs, or 2026 passed outs. They will be treated as what? Freshers. After learning Power BI, you can apply the jobs as a fresher. Who else can learn is career break or career gap. Imagine you complete your education around 5 years back. Let's say somehow you completed in 2020 year and you don't have any working experience. They will be treated as what? Career break or career gap. So these people also can learn Power BI, but these people will not apply for the job as a fresher. They don't will be considered. After learning this course, you minimum need to keep 3 years of experience. Minimum how much? 3 years. How can you keep this experiences? Consultancies will provide. Who will provide? Consultancies. For 3 years experience, what technical skills are required? The technical skills I'll teach you. This experience you need to get it from where? Consultancies. Okay. And another category of people who can learn Power BI is what? Career transition. Career transition means already you are working on some other jobs. Might be you are working in IT jobs or non-IT jobs, QA or QA testing or mainframe, some outdated technologies you are working. Imagine you want to switch into the data analytics field. Where you want to switch? To enter into the data analytics field, the best tool, data analytics is an evergreen field, guys. One of the best software nowadays using for data analysis is what? Power BI. So these people already have the experience, right? These people will learn Power BI. These people also will not get the job as a fresher. These people also want to keep what? Minimum 3 years of experience. So I will tell you how to convert your prior experience, whether you have IT experience or non-IT experience, that experience will convert into Power BI and we will keep 3 years Power BI experience, guys. In such a way, we need to try for the job. Okay. So finally, freshers, career break people, career transition people are eligible to learn what? Power BI. So most of the people who come to me, they want to keep minimum 3 years experience. You want to keep 3 years experience, you need to know Power BI developer what? Roles and responsibilities. When you are working in the project, what are the different roles and responsibilities a Power BI developer will have? You need to know all these roles and responsibilities with real-time examples. I'll discuss this Word document. How Power BI developer roles, and in any Power BI project, Power BI developer roles and responsibilities will have. We will discuss these roles and responsibilities extensively. And after this roles and responsibilities, will help you in what? I'll talk to you, and my team will talk to you, and you'll understand whether you are a fresher or a experienced or a career transition person or a career gap person. Once they understand, they'll tell you how to prepare what? Resumes. And we'll provide a lot of interview questions and we'll discuss. We'll conduct what? Mock interviews, guys. By going through all this, you can comfortably keep how much experience? I can confidently tell you that, guys. Okay, all 60 hours of recorded sessions we will share with you. You will have a dedicated supporting team. You are doing practice. You got some questions. We have a separate support team who can clarify your questions. Now, I'll go with the questions. What is the question is? Any prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. Lot of people will ask, okay, I'm willing to learn Power BI. There are a lot of people who came from non-IT background here. They don't have prior computer knowledge. So I can strictly say no prerequisites to learn what? Power BI. Even you are from non-IT background, you don't have any prior computer knowledge, you can happily join my Power BI course. I'll teach this Power BI course very basic to the advanced project level. Okay. Okay. To learn Power BI, there is no prerequisite, guys. Okay. You join my Power BI course. Within 60 hours, you thoroughly learn Power BI. And with only Power BI, you don't get the job. Try to understand. Only with Power BI, you don't get the job. To get the job on Power BI, what is mandatory? SQL is mandatory. Power BI developer, see here, what is the SQL? SQL stands for what? Structured query language. It's a common language used to interact with all the databases, whether it is SQL Server or Oracle or DB2 or MySQL. All these databases will commonly use a language called what? Structured query language. Now, try to understand what is the SQL, why Power BI developer required SQL. So the SQL, I don't use anywhere in Power BI. SQL is not used to extract the data. SQL is not used to do ETL in the Power Query. SQL is not used in Power Pivot to create OLAP. SQL is not used in Power View to create reports. SQL is not used to publish and share the reports to the clients. Even if you don't know SQL, you can complete the Power BI project. Okay. When you can complete the Power BI project without knowing SQL, why every Power BI job they're asking SQL? If you go and look at the Power BI jobs will be posted with these designations, guys. When you look at the jobs, 90% of Power BI jobs, they're asking what? Some jobs they're asking Power BI SQL Python. Some jobs they're asking Power BI SQL Power Apps. Some jobs Power BI SQL Excel, Power BI SQL ADF, Power BI SQL Tableau. But this combination is less. Major combination is what? Every Power BI job you see what? SQL. So when I try to say here, without using SQL, I can complete my Power BI project. When you can complete the complete Power BI project without SQL, why every Power BI job they're asking SQL? Online people, tell me what might be the reason? Why every Power BI job they're asking SQL? When you don't use, huh? No, don't require. In order to do ETL in the Power Query, even you don't know anything about SQL, you can do the ETL in the Power Query. We can connect to database with 2 clicks. We can bring the tables. After bringing the tables, we can transform without writing any SQL code. Everything without writing SQL, I can do ETL. That is not the reason. Then what? Hmm? What is the reason? Uh, there is no doubt. Even if I don't know SQL, I can complete the Power BI project. Hmm. Hmm? No, that data already companies will send into OLTP. No, even when you have multiple data sources, we can bring the tables without writing SQL and we can use it. Not that reason. Any other reasons? So I can strictly say without SQL, we can complete the Power BI project. In the development phase, we know where we need to use it. So where the SQL generally Power BI developer will use it, companies mostly store the data in databases case. Either SQL Server or Oracle, they will store it. That databases data you will take into Power Query, you will do ETL. That you will load into Power Pivot, you will create OLAP. That you will take it to Power View, you generate the reports. How can you blindly tell your report is correct? There is a chance that you might do a mistake in Power Query. You might do a mistake in Power Pivot. You might do a mistake in Power View. You might be showing the wrong information. What you might be showing? Wrong information. Can I share the wrong information to the clients? What you need to do is after you generate the report, we need to go and cross check this report is correct or not. How we will cross check is we'll go to the databases. Databases can understand only one language called what? SQL. Using the SQL, you will write what? Queries. That queries will give what? Output. That output you need to compare with what? Report output. That we call it as testing the data in the report. What we call this? Testing. To develop the report, I don't use anywhere SQL. To test the numbers in the report, we will write SQL queries. There we will use it. Now go and read this point. Uh, Somewhere here, to develop the reports, we don't require what? SQL. To test the data in the reports, we require what? SQL. In order to learn the SQL, we need to learn one database case. In our training institute, we are teaching what? MySQL database, where we will teach SQL concepts for what? That same SQL concepts is applicable for other databases also. No matter what database you will learn, the SQL queries are common 99% with small syntax changes. 99.9% they are same. Okay, so in order to get the job, if you already know SQL, you learn only Power BI for how many hours? 60 hours. If you don't know SQL, you need to learn what? Power BI and SQL. Major jobs will be in the combination of what? Power BI SQL. Having Python, Excel, Power Apps, Tableau, that's added advantage. Added advantage. This is all about the demo, today's class demo. These are my front office team numbers. I'm pasting that numbers in the chat window. So any questions related to the new batch, all this, you can talk to front desk team. Any questions related to the demo, technical things, you can unmute and proceed, guys. Online people, if you have any questions, you can unmute and proceed. Online people, please unmute and go with your questions. When is your next class? Next class tomorrow at what time? 10 to 11. Complete this week, tomorrow till Saturday. Your classes will be 10 to 11. From Monday onwards, 7:30 to 8. Yes. Any questions before we stop? Is it all clear? Believe me, guys, no compromise with the subject. Most of the people who join my Power BI course, they'll come through reference, guys. I can surely tell you, after completing my course, if you practice thoroughly, you can comfortably do the Power BI project by your own. That level, I will teach the skills. Any questions? I'll just come. First, let me take the questions from online, then I'll come to offline. Any questions, online people? Is everything clear? There are more than 20 members and no questions.
You said like the regular classes are from tomorrow also, right? So
Yes.
so tomorrow 7:30 itself it starts.
No, sir. Tomorrow is this complete week is introduction, sir. Why
Okay.
confusion?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th April, your classes will be from what? Till Saturday, it is what? 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tomorrow, introduction class only, tomorrow onwards.
Got it.
Another 4 introduction classes are there.
Okay, got it.
Actual classes will start from Monday.
Okay, like for you touched based on SQL at the last, so you mean like SQL is must. Then in that case,
There is no dependency, sir. Between Power BI and SQL, there is no dependency. You can learn them parallelly. Because SQL nowhere I use in the development. After I generate the report to cross check my numbers, I'll use SQL. It's an independent work. You can learn parallelly.
okay. So if it's an added advantage if you are learning SQL.
See, even if you don't know anything SQL, it's my responsibility to make you understand Power BI thoroughly. Whenever SQL things are required, I might explain it in Power BI itself and to make that concept clear.
Okay, that's what I want to understand whether we have to go through SQL or not. That's it. Thank you.
Sorry?
I just want to understand whether we have to go through SQL separately or not. Just for that I asked. Thanks for the clarity.
Yep. Okay, right. Any other questions, guys? Others, please unmute and proceed if you have any questions. Right. Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
so
we'll stop here. Yes, someone is asking. Please proceed.
yeah, so sir, you'll be helping us in every point like resume building and interview questions and
Yes, sir.
till we get
Yes.
placed, right?
Yes, we will help you, sir.
Okay, sure. Sir.
So if there is no question, yes, Gurkhan,
Sir,
yes,
where does your office come, sir?
in
That is,
Hyderabad, sir. In Hyderabad, Amirpet, sir.
okay,
Maitrivanam.
Amirpet. Okay, fine, excellent.
Right. Mm.
Hi, sir. Good morning. This is Rajshekar.
Yes, Rajshekhar.
Sir, thank you for the session. Previously, already I was attended. Due to I didn't practice well,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to rejoin.
Mm.
So what
You
is the
talk to the
procedure?
vendors team, sir. Rajshekhar, you talk to the vendors team.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, are there, are there, you see, so many people are learning Power BI. And
Mm.
you see, are people who have experience also learning Power BI, who doesn't have any experience, they are also learning and coming.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So how is it really possible to get a job, sir? Because somebody will be
One thing,
having no
sir. The
experience.
people who are learning Power BI, not everyone will get the job. Not only
Yes, sir.
Power BI, the story is same for any course. You take any course when 100 people are learning, out of 100 people, the people who thoroughly learn, only out of 100, some 20, 30 people will get the job. There is no other option. We should be there in the 20, 30 people. We need to prepare in such a way.
Thank you, sir.
Right, welcome. Any other questions, guys? Right, thank you. See you in what? Tomorrow's class at what time? 10 to 11. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.